Hi everybody, thanks for joining me in Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm Melinda Pierce and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this quick and easy card. I have all the measurements for you and all of the products that I used for it, so I'm going to point you down to my work surface and get right to it. Like I said, this is a really quick and easy card to do. You can even use Designer Series paper to make it extra quick. This just uses a few pieces of scrap Designer Series paper, and it makes for a really quick card. So for the products that I used the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. It just creates a nice little texture on the background of your card. I don't know if you can see it on my sample, but it's very subtle. I think you can see it there. And it's just a nice way to give a little bit of texture to your background without distracting too much from your stamped images. This embossing folder will be retiring, so if you're interested in purchasing it, make sure you put it onto your order list as soon as possible. I'm also using the Forever Fern stamp set. This set is a great all-purpose stamp set. It creates beautiful images, great fonts and words on this set. And it also comes with dies if you purchase it as a bundle. If you purchase it as a bundle right now, you can get a 10% savings on it. It will be carried over into the next catalog, but you will not receive a 10% discount. So make sure you put that on your order as soon as possible in order to get some savings. I'm also using the Artistically Inked stamp set just for the thanks image. This set also is a bundle right now. You can receive 10% off if you purchase the dies with the stamp set. It will not be carried over as a bundle in the new catalog. It will be in the new catalog, but you will not receive a 10% discount on that if you purchase the stamps and dies separately. So another good item to put onto your order list as soon as possible. If you would like to purchase the items, you can do so at my online store at melindapierce.stampinup.net. And if you would like to follow me on Facebook, you can do so at Melinda's Rubber Room. Okay, now to get right to making the card, I have a base card in Soft Succulent that measures 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. And I have a mat that I have already embossed that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to apply some Tombow glue to that to adhere it to my card front. Remember, when you're using the Tombow glue, you don't need a lot. You can see I just put a little bit of a border of glue on there. It's a very light border, not any big blotches of glue. And that will prevent some of the glue from spilling out on the edges where you don't want it to be. Okay, and now I have 3 mats, and this is in the Misty Moonlight, which is a retiring color. So if you like that color, make sure you check the online store. It may have already sold out, but if it's still available, make sure you hop on and purchase that as soon as possible. So the mats measure 1 3/4 by 5, 1 1/2 by 4, and 1 1/2 by 3. And the white cardstock is just a 1/4 inch difference from your mat sizes. So it measures 1 1/2 by 4 3/4, 1 1/4 by 3 3/4, and 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. So we are going to randomly stamp on the largest one and on the smallest one. We're going to bring in the Forever Fern stamps and the Soft Succulent stamp pad. And like I said, I'm just going to randomly apply these images on these white pieces of cardstock. You can stamp the images off if you want to get a variation in color. You can see how that one's a lighter color, but still the same ink. I'm going to do that a few more times with the lighter stamped image. There we go. And now for the small one. You can see how quickly the stamping goes. It's such a beautiful stamped image. All right, so that's those. And then we're going to bring in the thanks from the Artistically Inked stamp set. And we're using the Misty Moonlight ink to stamp the thanks. And that will tie in the Misty Moonlight paper with this ink. I'm just centering that. And now I'm going to go back with the Soft Succulent and some of these stamped images from the Forever Fern, just to get it to all tie together. Okay, now all we have to do is I'm going to close up these ink pads, make sure nothing gets put on them by mistake. Okay, so now all we have to do is match up our stamped images with our mats and go ahead and adhere those. So this is one of the cards that, the card that I did as a featured card on my Zoom session last week. We meet on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. I do provide all the measurements ahead of time so you can stamp the card with us. And if you would like to purchase a card pack to do the card, I also make card packets up for people so they don't have to cut their paper up. I don't provide the stamped images. You would have to stamp your own images, but you can use whatever stamps you have. And that's part of the fun of my Zoom sessions, is everybody's just using whatever stamped images and designer series paper they have, and following the same template that I provide and all the same measurements. And we get all kinds of different cards that look really fun. Just different ideas on the same layout. Really gets the creative juices flowing. So now I'm just taking the matte pieces and adhering it to the embossed cardstock. Putting it on like that, just putting the bottom one on. No real guidelines as far as where you want these pieces to go. I just leave a little bit of a border down on the bottom. And a little bit on top. And I'm just making sure that these are centered. And then I'm going to raise this piece up, the center piece up, with some dimensionals. These are the mini dimensionals. I'm just going to add a few of those on here. So if you'd like information on my Zoom sessions, hop over to my Facebook page right here at Melinda's Rubber Room. You can get all the information there. There's also information on there regarding my upcoming card class in the mail, which includes 3 cards and follows it up with a video on how to put those cards together. And all the information on how to purchase that card class in the mail is on my Facebook page. Okay, now I have another piece of matte white cardstock that's going to go on the inside, and that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to stamp a few more of those leaves just to decorate the inside of my card a little bit. I am going to leave the card blank on the inside because it is a thank you card, so I like to just be able to express my thanks. Write a little note on the inside. And just by adding that little stamped image, just brightens it up a little bit on the inside of the card. And ties it to the outside of the card as well. Now, if you're using designer series paper, instead of the stamped images, you can cut a small strip of the designer series paper and just add that to the inside of the card, like I did on this one. All right. I hope I wasn't off camera for that whole demonstration, but I think it's pretty easy to follow. You just stamp your images, mount it onto your mats, and adhere it to your card base, raising up the middle image with dimensionals. All right, hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully it is all on screen. If you have any questions, feel free to message me either on this YouTube video or on my Facebook page at melindasrubberroom.com. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.